Yeah. Bang it!
I only got 2 beers. I was fucking 19 when I started.
Yeah, well, I might choose another.
Oh, it's fucking Johnny Large.
Check.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do
Oh,
it.
yeah. Hey, I got vocal monitor today. So I can hear. Grant, I think we need you over here. Grant, please. Thank you.
Oh, what happened?
What happened? I can't do my work. I had a wheel wet wagon. Fucking dipple. Okay.
Nipple leakage!
Do this!
He's not going to push me off the fucking stage, are you?
I'm the one who's going to go.
That's how the
You're going to go
song
into
ends.
fucking step. I'm going to go off.
I don't want to fall into drums.
Yeah.
Fucking do this! This fucking go.
Hurry up. Fucking go.
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh.
Just turn it up, okay?
I can only do that intro once there.
The other one.
Hey.
All right, take number 2. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
let's all worship Prince. The way he wants his favorite band. Together, and now they play for you.
I do like Iron Maiden. We're having some tech support issues. Kevin Simister, if you are watching, we need some tech support. Kevin Simister, are you there? We might have a late start here because we have a tech support issue. Mike Slayen is having a hard time accessing. Safari is no-go, and Chrome isn't either yet. I'm wondering if we can get maybe some tech support from somebody who knows more about this shit than I do. Anybody? Kevin Simister, are you there? We may have a workaround. He's going to try using his iPhone if he can't get his Chrome to work.
Going to pick up the coffee.
All right, thanks, sweetie. That drummer was Sebastien Xavier Meunier, who you have seen in the comments section here many times in the past. Yeah. Maybe. I hope not. That wasn't the goal. So we have some issues here. Mike Slayen is incoming. This guy right here. But he's having trouble connecting. Okay, here's Aaron. That's the guy that might help. Aaron, I'm glad you're here. We might need your help.
Oh, you're in trouble.
I just sent you a text message.
Oh,
I know.
Upstairs.
It's okay. You're here.
Okay.
You answered my summons. Do you remember the first time you used StreamYard? You had a hard time logging in. It wasn't working for you. Mike Slayen's having issues. He says Safari is no-go and Chrome isn't either.
Right. I had to download and install Opera on my Mac. Opera is one of the web browsers that StreamYard recognizes.
Okay.
It's the only thing I use it for. There is a list. If you go to the StreamYard thing, there's a list of browsers that it says it works with, and Safari isn't one of them.
Okay.
Because I have a Mac here, and that I did run into that. So I had Opera.
Well, I just sent him a message. Frank Toms uses Firefox, no issues. Yeah, yes, but Frank, you have never been on the live stream, so that is really irrelevant. Okay, so I sent him a message to download and install Opera.
Yeah.
If not, he's going to try his iPhone. But hopefully we will have this guy here with us live real soon. That's the hope. In the meantime, do you remember... maybe, I don't remember when I did this unboxing, but I did an Encore Records unboxing with some cars and some Dio.
Yeah.
Okay, we might have Mike. We might. Yeah, we do.
Excellent.
Wow. Mike has, okay, I will just say for the record, wait, wrong CD.
Wait, is that a pun intended?
No, yeah, why not? I will just say that based on what I'm seeing below, Mike no longer looks like this. So, please welcome to the show, we have Mr. Kevin Simister, a.k.a. Tech Support.
Hello,
and all the way from San Diego, we have Mr. Mike Slayen.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
For the first time ever.
On my iPhone.
Now, I just sent you a message. We may have a workaround for you. Aaron had the same issues as you, and he downloaded and installed Opera, and that worked for him.
Hold on, give me a sec.
That's a nice ceiling.
Fantastic. Got better lighting than I do.
Look false to me.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Can you hear me now? All right. Yeah, I was trying to download Opera. I don't know where it went. It made me take a survey, and come on, guys. It's not like I'm in a hurry or anything.
No, we don't need to. I'm in no hurry. You're new to the show. This is our first time. Wait, hey, wow, you got it in widescreen.
How's that working? If this works, I'm just going to go with this.
Yeah, that's working.
All right.
Yep.
So Mike, this is what we do. Usually before we officially start at 7, we just do a little chitting and chatting, and then we get serious.
Hours.
What's that?
7. We got 3 more hours.
Sorry, 7 our time, 4 your time.
Okay, gotcha.
So usually we just do some chitting and chatting, and then we'll start rolling with the lists around 7. We're still waiting on one more guy, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I mean, I've reviewed your album, your excellent acoustic CD, but you like to rock.
Oh yeah, I mean, I grew up. Well, you'll see when I talk about the list. But yeah, I was definitely a rock and roller, and then I knew I wanted to play guitar, and my dad said I had to go to college, and so I did both. Went to college and studied music. So I've been playing classical guitar, kind of in the stuff that you heard on that CD for the last 20 years.
Wow.
And it's great. I love it, but it's not the same. So I'm taking advantage of the COVID downtime because there's no gigs, not a lot going on for musicians. So I grew my hair out. I told my wife you can't cut it because I don't want to get sick. And I got
well, you see these two guys. These two guys, you notice that they have a solution to that.
Yeah, there's no growing out this. I'd be full George Costanza if I was to grow this out.
All right, I'm going to roll the theme song, and then when we come back, we'll start rolling some lists on the LaBrain train.
Woo.
Ticket to anywhere and a glazed donut to go. All aboard.
Can't hear a thing, girl.
We lost Mike, but he'll be back.
Oh, hey, Meat.
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going?
Hello, everybody.
Your volume is a little low, Meat.
You're
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I was thinking while I watched that thing, now you got to get T-Bone to update that because you've had Martin Popoff on, and he deserves a spot in your intro.
You know what? That's a fantastic suggestion. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to approach him. Hopefully it won't be too much of a hassle for him. But you're brilliant. Thank you, Aaron.
I'm just making more work for T-Bone. No problem.
Well, he's a man that needs some work. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to go around and do all the introductions, and then I'm going to lay down some rules, some general rules.
Uh-oh.
So, first,
hey, man, is this okay for volume?
Yeah, you sound good, buddy.
Yep.
Okay.
So, to my immediate, my left, your right, is Mr. Aaron from the legendary Keeps Me Alive website, and the only man here who, besides myself, knows Mike Slayen.
I don't think we've ever met.
Well, no, I mean, none of us have met.
Yeah. Yeah, that goes back a long ways, man.
Sorry, I was just showing T-Bone's agreed to do the video. So, and I can do the conversion myself, so I'm good. And then to Aaron's left is Mr. Kevin from Buried on Mars, who has been, he's got a bit of a fan club, is the best way to put it. I have had lots of feedback, and this guy has a lot of fans.
I imagine it's negative stuff. Why is this guy on here?
No. I just hear only good things.
You have
only good things.
Musicians and me. Why am I here? I'm like one of these things don't belong here.
Anyway, self-deprecating aside, down in the corner we have Mr. Eric, Uncle Meat, who is the guy who came up with this whole Nigel Tufnell top 10 list idea way back in like April or May or whenever I was thinking about giving this up. And then right underneath we have Mr. Mike Slayen all the way from San Diego, where it's only 4 p.m. And this is his first time on the show.
Yeah, it's 60 degrees out here too, by the way. We're having a storm. We're having a really bad storm.
Well, we're expecting some snow, but
yeah, we're getting it here.
Wow. Yeah, we're spoiled out here for sure.
That's almost
so. Mike,
yesterday, but we got hit pretty hard today. So
wow.
So Mike, the way this works is we all have a list. We all have 11 songs.
Okay.
So we're going to count them down, our 11 riffs, from 11 down to 1. And the reason it's 11 is because if Nigel Tufnell did a top 10 list, of course it would go all the way up to 11. So that's why we call it the Nigel Tufnell top 10.
I thought it was because 10 just wasn't enough.
Well, it's actually not, as you well know. For this particular set of lists, you well know that. But what I want to do is I kind of want to rip through the list fairly quickly, because usually when there's 5 guys on and we get talking, it can go over 2 hours, and I don't know how much time you have. But I want to rip through the list fairly quickly. Plus, you're going to play some stuff. You're going to play some riffs. And Kevin has hopefully reassured me that this won't set off a copyright strike.
No, it shouldn't.
If not, just play something else.
Play them backwards.
I'll try to mess up.
So I would like to go first, just because I think it's easiest if we do it that way. And if anybody here has a piece of paper and a pen, I would like just to keep track of any songs that come up more than once.
Okay.
So, Aaron, are you going to be the scorekeeper? I think Aaron might have a bigger piece of paper.
Oh, well.
You trust me?
I do. Yeah. Okay, so every time we hit a duplicate...
Let me find a crayon.
So anytime we hit a duplicate, we're going to write it down for statistical purposes. And one last rule is, I don't know if you guys have any runners-up.
I do.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, to avoid any kind of spoiler territory, we're going to do the runners-up at the very end of the show.
You know what? I also had a list of tunes that right away I decided would not be on my list.
Okay, save those for the very end.
Okay.
Those are going to be for the very end. And Mr. Harrison Kopp in Australia, I believe, is going to be... I don't know if he's going to have his whole list or a couple songs or just commentary, but he did promise me commentary. So Harrison Kopp the Contrarian, all the way from Australia, where it's actually 7 a.m., so take that, Mike Slayen, 7 a.m. I'm going to start. I made a personal rule. There are no rules for you guys. You guys are all free to do this any way you like, but my personal rule was no repeat bands. So with that in mind, my Deep Purple riff is Pictures of Home from Machine Head, 1972. I'll hum it, and then maybe Mike can play it. But
I've never played that one. I've heard that, but I've never played it.
damn, I didn't want to pick "Smoke on the Water." Too obvious.
That's on my no-go list. Oh, I blew it. I wasn't supposed to say that.
If you can't play it, then we'll skip the pressure.
I can
And
play
we'll
Smoke on
only-
the Water.
Okay, yeah, sure. Do Smoke. Why not?
This is is the first thing I have to teach all my students by law. I'm required to. But...
There it is.
Now, I have a question.
Yeah.
Because we can't see your right hand. Are you using a plectrum?
I do.
You are, okay.
I
was curious.
Backwards, so I don't know what's going on.
So I believe Blackmore plays this with his fingers.
Does he really?
I believe. I may be wrong. Somebody can correct me in the comments. Yeah. I think that's how Blackmore plays it.
All right.
Do we have a consensus from the panel?
I really don't know.
Oh.
I wouldn't have known, and probably if I did, I forgot.
Harrison will know. So my number 11 is Deep Purple, Pictures of Home, and Mr. Aaron from Keeps Me Alive is going to go next.
Okay.
And there you go.
No pick double stops. Okay. So, there's too many riffs in the 70s.
Yes.
Like, I mean, you could have made this all Black Sabbath or all Led Zeppelin or all Deep Purple or all AC/DC, or you could have done that easily. So what I did was none of that. I did all 70s punk songs.
Nice!
Oh.
A theme!
Because it's here. It's here. So my first one is probably one of my favorite songs of all time, but only if Keith Morris sings it. It's Nervous Breakdown, Black Flag.
I know I've heard that song. It was on a Black Flag mix CD you made for me.
It's such a great riff.
Can you play something punk for us, Mike?
Not really. I mean, like Blink-182. Is that punk?
Just
that punk?
Yeah. Just
sure.
Wail some punk for a minute.
Shania Twain.
Oh, what about She? I guess that's not really punk either, right? Green Day? Sorry.
Well, maybe Kevin's first pick. Maybe Kevin's number 11 is a song you've heard. Or a song that you know. Let's see.
Well, we'll find out. Yeah, so like Aaron, this was a very daunting task. I had crossed out songs and put them back. It was just too much. I could have done a whole list, top 11 in just 1970. Forget the 70s. So I had to set myself some rules. I had to do one song per band. If I didn't, it would all be Black Sabbath and AC/DC because those guys were just on another plane. I had to own the song. So this actually killed me because I had to drop some songs that I don't have just for whatever reason. And it had to be a guitar riff.
Yeah.
If I started opening up to piano and bass, it was just too much. So I wanted to pick a different Judas Priest song, but I don't own it. So I had to go with the other song. Oh, did we lose Mike?
I'm here.
No, the other Mike.
We lost our host.
We lost our host.
Great, now we can talk about it.
Oh, awesome. Well, should I just keep going on to just keep the show moving?
Sure.
All right. Well, I picked
a list anyway.
So I picked my second favorite Judas Priest song that I hum around the house all the time. It's the first track on Sin After Sin, and it is The Sinner.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure to play it.
I'm gonna say I don't think I have that album. I have a few Priest albums here, but not that one.
Yeah, I don't want to say the one I wanted to pick in case somebody else picks it. So,
yeah.
But that's what I mean. I hum that around the house all the time. You know?
So this was a really tough challenge, man.
Absolutely.
I deleted my list, and I started just off the top of my head, and then I started looking at my collection, and I realized it was nigh on impossible. I could have just done Stones, right?
I was
impossible.
I was literally like 5 minutes ago running around the house like, oh no, I'm gonna switch this record and put this record in. Like it was just
me too.
It was just too yeah, but whatever. I'm happy with my
Once
list.
I picked a theme, it was easier.
Yeah. If
Once I said, okay, I'm just
done
going to do 70s punk songs, then it was, well, there's still a ton of those that got left off, but at least it was easier to narrow it down than to try to, you know, go out the whole decade.
I think it would probably change every single day too. If you ask me tomorrow,
Yeah.
and the next day it's going to be a different list every time.
Well, it could have been 11 James Brown songs.
It could have been, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, oh,
yeah.
God.
That was the other thing too. I had to stick to rock and roll. If I went blues and jazz,
Hey, there he is.
I don't know what happened. My computer lost its connection to my microphone and camera.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like me over here.
I hate that this happened. I'm tempted to go and get my laptop.
It's up to you.
Well, you're on camera now.
I have a really bad echo. Hang on.
Sounds fine here.
Yeah, fine here.
I don't hear an echo.
You know.
Hang on.
Now Mike is in a vortex now. We were supposed to do this quick. We were supposed to go through this quick.
The lobby.
Okay. I lost part of my phone case. Okay, now I've lost the echo. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might have to do it this way. The old-fashioned way.
Nice.
Phone balanced at the monitor there.
There you go.
Thank God I'm wearing pants. Thank God I'm wearing pants.
I'm not.
Now I gotta carefully get my list out from back here without knocking over the phone. There we go. Okay. Stay. Okay,
Good.
so this is different.
Man, you got a lot of drama going on.
No kidding. Looks like I can still control everything from the computer.
Nice.
But, okay. So I don't know what happened here, but I cannot reconnect my devices. And I cannot boot my original self from the stream to fix it. So we're just going to keep going. Where did we leave? Oh, fuck! See, this is the problem I used to run into. I got to go grab a couple like action figure boxes to prop it up.
Do you have some Lego? Lego works.
No, I'll be back. I'll be back.
So while we wait, Mr. Slayen, what kind of guitar are you using? I'm curious.
Well,
Yeah,
this
that's
is a
good to
guitar I bought a long time ago. It's a Fernandez.
Everything fucked up.
Fernandez. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna go buy a Charvel when I was a kid or something.
Yeah.
And I played this one. I was like, God, I really like the neck, and that's what I ended up with.
Cool. I'd never heard of that brand before.
Yeah, Brad Gillis. Brad Gillis used to play them. I can't think who else used.
So I have my phone propped up.
All about feel, man. As soon as you pick it up, you know you're home.
I have my phone propped up between a Loudness box set and a Harem Scarum box set.
Right on.
So hopefully that will work. I wouldn't mind if there was less of my gut on camera, but that'll have to work. Okay, there we go. Are we functional? I think so.
I think so.
Okay, so where do we leave off?
Kevin.
I went, and it's Meat's turn now.
Okay,
I think
Mr.
so.
Meat, go right ahead.
So Kevin, do you want to tell him, Mike, what your song was?
It was The Sinner. Judas Priest.
Nice.
Yes, it was.
How about that? Can you play that one?
I can't hear you. That's good. No, I don't know that one.
Okay, no problem.
I've been a classical guy for 20 years. I'm only coming back to my riffs.
Okay, no problem. I know that you can play your own riff, but what's the Meat Man got?
Okay, well, like it's been already said, this has been by far the hardest list that I've had to do. I also made it so no band could be repeated. And at one point, I was going to try to go from 1970 down, like for every year, but that didn't work out. And I changed this thing so many times, I just had to. So for my number 11, I'm going to go with which is guaranteed to be the very earliest 1970 song possible for the Band of Gypsies.
Ooh.
Recorded January 1st, 1970.
Huh.
Machine Gun.
Nice.
Nice.
I love that song.
Now the song is iconic. It's right in the middle of the Vietnam War. It sounds like the Vietnam War. I fell in love with that album when I first heard it, and it was actually the Live at the Fillmore East one that I ended up getting at the Beat when I was working there. I just couldn't stop listening to it, and I mean it's such an iconic riff and song. So that's my number 11.
Nice. Well, Mike, that brings us to you.
All right. First, I just want to say thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks for coming on.
It's actually really cool to finally meet Mike, because I guess we've kind of been, I don't know, blog pals or whatever you call it.
For a long time.
For a while.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that you supported that CD. That was really cool. I was doing that fundraiser thing. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That used to be me. And yeah, and you just bought in. It was really cool. You didn't have to, and that was very cool.
Well, my buddy Aaron, he always talks about the community, and he's right. It's all about mutual support, and that's how this all started. These Friday nights, that's how it started. We just wanted to be supportive of each other during a crappy time, and fortunately, people enjoy watching. We got Rosanna all the way from Brazil. We got T-Bone in Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Lana in Hawaii.
Aloha.
So what's your number 11, Mike?
All right. So same thing with me. I mean, it's impossible to make a list of 11 riffs, but what are you going to do? Like I said, when you were gone, every day it's probably a different list. If you ask me tomorrow, it's probably going to be different.
Yeah.
But the first three on my list were three that I remember when being a little kid back in San Diego. I am in San Diego. Hanging out at the beach. There was like this little arcade or something. We used to go in there and get French fries, but they had pinball machines and they had girls with bikinis and they had rock and roll in the background. And the first three on my list were just from there. They've been like favorite riffs since I was 8, a little bitty Mike. And I think they've all stood the test of time. So I can play this one.
Okay.
You guys want me to play it, or you want to?
Yeah.
Let's hear. Yeah, let's hear it first.
All right.
Name that tune.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
That sounds like
wow.
Boston.
Yeah, it's from the second album too.
I was going to say it's Don't Look Back, isn't it?
Yeah, the first album is way better, but that lick to me is just more riffy than the other ones. The other ones start out with the kind of acoustic stuff. So I went with that one.
Nice.
It's a great tune.
I love that.
The other thing, when I was doing this, I was playing that riff, and then I realized it sounds a lot like another song, and it's almost exactly the same. See if you can tell what this is.
Yeah,
Rush.
Yeah. That's 2112 part 3 or 4 or something like that.
It's one of those parts, yeah. So the only thing that's different is they take this chord up here and move it down an octave.
Or Jack and Diane.
Yeah. So
we're all learning tonight. You can tell this guy's a teacher, right? Well, that's awesome. That's a good first round down. Now, my number 10, entering round 2. It's weird. I'm used to looking up here for my camera, but I gotta look down here. My number 10 is dedicated to Mr. Harrison Cock. Oh shit! I wanted to read his number 11. His number 11, Deep Purple, Sail Away. And he said, "No Smoke on the Water."
Am I watching his list too?
I just thought yeah, sure, why not? Yeah,
okay,
watch his list too.
And what was that song?
Well, you don't have to write them all down, but Deep Purple, Sail Away.
Okay.
I'm just interested in what repeats,
Oh, I know, but I'm a little OCD, so don't mind me.
Fair enough. Okay, My number 10 is dedicated to Mr. Harrison Kopp. And you might disqualify me and say, that's a song from the 80s. And I'm going to call bullshit because Iron Maiden came out in 1979 on the Soundhouse tapes. So that's my number 10.
Sounds just like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Right on.
Harrison's number 10 is Tush by ZZ Top.
Oh, that's yeah.
I know that one.
Oh, okay. Let's hear that one.
That's not the riff.
Nice.
So.
That's sweet. Did you
I just heard that this week. I just got that box set this week.
That's right, you did. Yeah.
Can you guys see my hands when I'm playing? I tried to.
I can see your left hand.
All right.
Yep. I was going to ask you, did you catch our ZZ Top show a couple weeks ago?
I did.
Nice.
I saw the Eddie Van Halen one and the ZZ Top one.
Thank you.
Yeah, you read my list on there, right? I think.
Harrison Kopp's Iron Maiden's Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden almost made his list too. Say that 4, 5, 6 times in a row. Okay, so over to you, Aaron.
Oh, good. So for me, it's another one of my favorite bands of all time. And I could have picked I could have just said all of their first 3 albums. Take your pick. It doesn't matter. But I went with something you guys might know, which was Stooges' Search and Destroy.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
It could have been any, but that riff I think is one that if you hear it, you go, oh yeah, I know that song. So
I love it.
Yep.
I love the fact that you did an all punk list. And Chris Sarr says that he wishes he could play the guitar, and I pretty much agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, what you got next?
Okay, I feel like I'm the only champion of this band, so I wonder if any of you guys have heard of Dr. Feelgood out of Australia.
Heard of.
Is that a Motley Crue album?
No, not that. What did Uncle Me call him? Something like a pile of trash or something like that. Anyways, no. The song I love on here, well, I love it all, but the riff I chose was She Does It Right. So check out that from Dr. Feelgood. These guys are like, they're rock and roll. Like, I won't say they're
close up here.
I won't say they're like AC/DC, but it's like that Chuck Berry style of rock and roll. It's not as heavy, but it's a good time. So this is a live album.
That's cool.
Because it's hard to find any of their other stuff for me anyways, especially now since I can't go anywhere and actually look for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, check them out. And I could have chose like a few songs off of here, but I went with She Does It Right.
I like it. I like it.
Cool.
One to check out. Okay, the Meat Man.
Okay, my number 10 is a band that it's an iconic band that I don't necessarily love. Lots of people do. I know it's one of Aaron's favorite bands. My number 10 is from the good old Rolling Stones.
Oh yes.
From the Sticky Fingers album, and it is Can't You Hear Me Knocking?
Oh well, yeah.
That's a great song.
It just had to be on my list. It came off, it went back on, it came off, it went back on, and it's got to stay. So it's got to be there.
Cool. It was either that one. It was either that one or Bitch.
Yeah.
That's a great riff.
Yeah. But Can't You Hear Me Knocking is one that, like, I watch a lot of guitar players on YouTube, and they all try to do it. With varying levels of success.
He usually has like crazy tunings going on.
Yeah.
Open G with no open G, and there's no top string, I think.
Oh, really?
There's no 6th string. Yeah, he's only got 5 strings.
Dr. David Haslam has given you Some props there, Mr. Meat. What do you got?
What was it Keith said? He said you only need 5 strings, 3 fingers, and an asshole. I think that's what he said.
Sounds like something he would say.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I'm just going to try something here. I'm not happy with the way I look. Does that look better? Yeah, I'm happier with that. If everybody else is fine with that.
Sure. Works for me.
Okay.
You're hey, Mike, you're so vain you think that's all about you, right?
Is that what he was saying?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Dr. David says that there's no low E.
No low E, yeah. So the top,
There you
the thick one's gone, yeah.
Oh, and tonight's drink sponsor is Bark's Cherry Bite, which is apparently new. Apparently. Okay, Mike, what you got for number 10?
This is probably my. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a couple, but I thought it was my most trendy pick.
Okay.
I almost didn't want to put it on here, but I kept listening to it, and this song is so good. It's so overplayed, but to me, it's a totally underrated song. If you listen to all the parts in it, it's really intricate. But I'll just go ahead and play it for you.
Kansas.
Yes.
Got it.
Nice.
That's almost a perfect song. If you really listen to those parts,
great.
I mean, it is so well written.
Yeah.
I could do without the piano part, but it's just great. That's a great tune.
I'm loving
Great
that.
song.
So that was Carry On.
Layla.
Carry On My Wayward
Son. Yeah. Ironically, I didn't hear that song until Dream Theater covered it. But
Really?
hey, at least I heard it, right? Which brings us to number 9. I really hope you can play this riff.
Wait, did Meat give his song?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yes?
For 10?
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's done their 10.
It was Rolling Stones.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I was so excited I didn't write it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go with my number 9, which I really hope is a song you can play because I really want to hear the riff. And I know it's a song that Kevin likes. No, it's a song that Aaron likes. It's a song about pocket full of change. Just got paid today.
Nice.
ZZ Top.
Nice.
That's the name of the song? Just Got Paid Today?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Okay, no problem.
Give me another
no problem. Give me another
Want me
one.
to play Tush? Sure.
Yeah.
My top
Harrison,
11 were all Tush.
Harrison's that's a good one.
Starbreaker.
He's coming in with Judas Priest's Starbreaker. That's from Sin After Sin. So that's 2 songs from Sin After Sin, interestingly.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've seen a repeat of an album, which is kind of interesting. Brings us to Aaron with your number 9.
9. Oh, see, I don't number them. Oh, okay. And I don't go in any order, except I did start with Black Flag first because that song is just, I could listen to that all day. My next one is The Clash, White Riot.
It's one I can't think of how it goes.
Yeah, I don't either.
You got to do a hum thing like I do.
I am not going to sing for you.
Ah, damn it. Damn it. Okay, so people, you're just going to
viewers.
So viewers, just get on your YouTube.
Yeah.
Look it up. And White Riot, The Clash.
Yeah.
At no number by Aaron.
Right.
That's his gimmick, and I'm fine with that. Aaron's gimmick is that he doesn't play favorites. Oh, and he drinks water.
Yeah, my drink sponsor is my Straight Edge juice.
Straight Edge juice.
That's straight from the tap.
Ah, crap, that's funny. Okay, Kevin, do you have any jokes to follow that?
No, absolutely not. But I do have
got
a song.
some rock.
I have a number 9. I wanted to pick a different song from this album, but the other song is guitar and piano. So I went with the big guitar riff that opens up this Canadian album. Max Webster.
Oh yeah!
Awesome.
And I went with Hangover.
Hangover.
Awesome.
I wanted Toronto's, but it's too much of a piano song. So I went with the big guitar riff that opens up the album.
Nice.
Max Webster.
I get what you mean, I totally get what you mean about Toronto Tontos, but to me, the wackiness of that guitar, it dominates the piano. In my opinion, you would not have been. Oh, you got rules.
I
That's all there is to it.
I listened to the song like about 12 times this week, and I'm like, it's just the piano is just like because the guitar starts off, and then the piano kind of takes over, and then they both kind of go together, but it's still, to me, it's still a piano-driven song.
Well, there's no question that Hangover is a guitar song.
But that's just my rules. Like if anyone else picks it, it's not. I'm not judging.
Well, this is another no disqualification episode, so we're all clear.
And it's all because like I had to put in something, because I could have picked like at least 4 songs off of here, So I just had to pick something. So I just had to go with the big guitar riff.
Fair enough. Okay, Mr. Meat, number 9.
Number nine. It's true that Aaron doesn't rank his stuff, and that's totally cool. You do what you do. It's interesting that he's doing all punk, because I might have the only other punk song that is on this list.
Don't mind me. I'm just looking for a USB cable.
Yeah. And it's not just because I'm copying Aaron with my hairdo.
Wow.
Hey. But yes, my number 9 is from 1978, and it's not your traditional punk, but it is a punk person at the time. His name is Mr. Elvis Costello.
Yes.
And my number 9 is Pump It Up.
Nice.
Because it's got just an incredibly, basically awesome guitar riff. And it's iconic, and that's my number 9 right there.
That's a great show. Yep.
Don't mind me. I had to plug in the phone. So we're making some minor adjustments here. Adjusting the Harem Scarum box set a little bit to the left. Loudness. Good. Okay. Great. That was awesome, Aaron. I mean, Meat. Whoever you are.
the hair throwing him off. We got 3 baldies on the top.
Everything's. You're right.
All of the forehead glare is coming from the top now.
This is
all
true.
The hair hangs at the bottom.
So what we have here is 3 guys who have one solution to the COVID haircut, and 2 guys who have a completely different solution to the COVID haircut. It's
not to be insensitive.
We're just hippies down here.
Not to be insensitive, I call it the COVID caveman look.
Works for me.
I had short hair and no beard.
Well, I was cool before that. Like I did this in '93. So I mean,
yeah, you were bald when we met 20 odd years ago.
Yeah,
25 years ago. 25 years ago. It's our 25th anniversary. Wow. Okay, Mike, number 9.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you my drink of choice of the sponsor is the Dude beer.
Oh,
this is what the whole CD was based on. My brother-in-law owns this brewery, and so we did the fundraiser thing with this, and it was like you could get beer and stuff with the people that pledged money, I guess. But I'm not going to drink this because 10.4.
Yeah, you got to keep one. You got to keep
10.4%. I will be out before the show's over. But if you guys ever come out to San Diego, you got to let me know, and I'll have you over to the brewery, and you can have some dude.
I'm in.
The Dude beer, little Lebowski.
That's cool.
Nice.
That is cool.
All right, shameless plug there. All right, I'm feeling very uneclectic compared to you guys right now. But the next one is the third of my trilogy from being a kid at the beach.
Okay.
And this lick, I mean, as much as this band I don't really like.
Ted Nugent.
It just no. It just has to be there. It's just a great riff. So
okay.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right in the fast lane.
It's just a bitchin' riff. It's just so cool.
It is.
It's awesome.
I like the Joe Walsh stuff. Never a big fan of their earlier stuff, but
I love that you're giving us that slant though, because like you said, some of these guys have gone more eclectic, especially with the punk, Mr. Punk over here. But So
That's good.
I love that you're giving us like a slice of some classics. That's awesome.
I got some new listening to do. That's good.
I think it's
Joe Walsh,
ironic.
man.
I think it's ironic that you showed us the Dude beer and then played the Eagles right after it.
The dude hates the fucking Eagles.
That is pretty funny.
That's the note right there.
That's pretty funny.
Nice
actually.
one.
That's
I wish
funny.
I planned
That I was gonna say that was too good to be planned. Okay, so we're now into the fourth round with my number 8, and as I look at my list, I realize what I did here was I went for classic riff bands and I tried to steer a little bit left to center. Like with Deep Purple, I didn't pick Smoke on the Water. So for my Led Zeppelin song, I picked the Rover from Physical Graffiti. That's a cool riff, and it's not one that gets a lot of radio play. It's not one that you hear every day. So I am proud to go a little bit left to center for my Zeppelin pick, which is the Rover.
That's a big one.
That's a good
Thank
pick.
you. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, over to sorry, there we go. That's you, Aaron. Yes, you.
So my next one.
Sorry. Tarot Woman by Rainbow.
Yep.
For Harrison. And you know what? Maybe that's a good time for me to say this. I actually had a Rainbow song on my list and I took it off. I had Stargazer.
What?
And the reason I took it off is kind of similar to what Kevin was talking about with the piano in I felt that Stargazer was too much of a keyboard and guitar thing for that really big hooky riff that I like. And for the same reason, I also removed off my list Kashmir. So I went the Rover and said, okay, sorry, those were just related to what Kevin was saying earlier. Back to you, Aaron.
Okay, that's all good information. Another good Zeppelin one would have been The Ocean. That song is heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So my next one is this band has more popular songs that you would know and stuff, but I didn't pick those. So other people would say Anarchy in the UK or God Save the Queen. But for the Sex Pistols, I chose their song called Bodies. Which, you just have to turn that one up. It's a horrible song. Like, I mean, the lyrics are awful.
Really is.
They're terrible.
But
They're terrible.
I actually have a fun, quick story about that. We went to see Martin Tielli in concert in Saskatoon.
The Rheostatics?
Yeah, just a solo, though. It wasn't the Rheostatics that we saw. The band, I don't know where he got these guys. They were playing with him, and they played that song that night. And there was something about hearing them do it. Doesn't matter who did it. Hearing that song live was awesome. I felt like I wasn't going to sleep for a week. Really
cool.
So yeah,
nice, Kevin.
Okay, I went with Jethro Tull.
Yes.
Locomotive Breath. Not Aqualung. I went with Locomotive Breath.
Right, which is not the. Which ironically, it's not the one where he sings like a locomotive breath in the famous verses.
No.
Yeah.
But it's I like it. I like that song.
Yeah.
I think Dave Haslam and Tyler Generu are both enjoying the show very much tonight. They're both enjoying the show. And Lana shouted out The Ocean. Scott Peddle shouted out Trampled Underfoot. Trampled Underfoot, though, that's not really a guitar riffy song, is it? So much.
It's a good song, though.
Yeah, no, that's more of a John Paul Jones.
Right. I would agree with you on that one. Okay, so Meatman, we're at your number 8.
My number 8 goes dan 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 dan.
That's what I was going to say. It's a hockey night in Canada. Yeah.
Yes.
We have a vote for Hockey Night in Canada.
It's not the Hockey Night in Canada theme, no. It is 1971. The band is Yes. Probably my second favorite band of all time. And the song is called Yours Is No Disgrace. And I love that riff that starts it off. It's just a great little rocker, and that's my number 8.
Okay. Do me a favor.
What's that?
Do me a favor. talk for 60 more seconds. Speaking of Hockey Night in Canada, I'm just going to do a quick gen check.
Oh yeah,
So 60 more seconds.
Mike,
I'll
find
tell
out
a
how the
story
Leafs are
about
doing.
that.
Leafs
I'll
and the
tell a
Oilers
story about
tonight.
this
Find out.
song. That's on. So the song is memorable for me because I remember that me and my parents used to go to their friend's place, and this I would have been very young, like 8, 9 years old, and not that there was any substances consumed, because there definitely was. So I remember being downstairs with their son, who's an old friend of mine, and they would put this song on, this Yours Is No Disgrace, that again goes dan 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 dan, like it starts off like that. And what was going on is that they would put the song on, and it would be on for about 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, and I'd hear these footsteps like trotting over, across the room. It was like boom, 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 and a needle scratch, like he's trying to find it, and then it would start over again. And this went on over and over and over again. The first 15 seconds and the first 20 seconds. So it's a very memorable song for me.
Thanks for covering for me, Meat. It's intermission, and Jen's doing fine. Do you remember Hopping on a Bronze Leg? This dude was watching the Maiden show when we did Maiden a few years ago. He's in England. Follow Me by Rory Gallagher. Montrose Rock the Nation. Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And that's one I don't know, so I'm going to check that out.
Oh, I would have said Mississippi Queen, but cool.
Okay, Mike, what's your number 8?
All right, number 8. That's another one from, I remember being a teenager and hearing this, and it just was funky, and it was so cool. So I couldn't not put it on my list either. But it starts out with a different intro, and then it goes into the riff. The riff is really only 4 notes. So shows what you need for rock and roll, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Great. All right, here goes.
Aerosmith, Last Child?
Yep.
That's a funky one.
It's 4 notes.
That's an awesome one.
With the bass and that background guitar, that's just a cool, funky tune.
Last Child Buddy picked a good song.
Sorry?
Your Last Child Friend?
Oh, sorry. My wife's saying, your last child friend picked a good song. So
All right.
That's my wife,
right,
Jen.
Hey, Jen, what's the score?
What's the score?
Nothing. Pretty boring first.
Okay. We'll take that. At least they're not losing.
Right. Hopping on a Bronze Leg is from Yorkshire. And he's just Diamond Head. Am I evil? We got some good stuff for him. He's going to enjoy these lists. I guess that brings it back to me. And like I said, I included classic riff bands, and my AC/DC is Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
Nice.
Mike's talking about stuff that he grew up with, and there you go. I should probably write this story down, but I was in grade 6, and my buddy Bob Shipper, who I've talked about 1,000 times on this show, taped me Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap by AC/DC on a Scotch 120-minute cassette tape. And I brought it to school one day because I thought, I said, I like the guy that sings with the frog in his throat. And what I meant by that was when he said, I thought it was hilarious. And I'm going to write that story one day. So my number 7 is Aerosmith Dirty Deeds. And that brings us, hold on. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading this guy's comments at the same time. Oh, and Lana just name dropped a freaking cool riff.
Mm-hmm.
And Hoppin met Sean Harris and his mother manager Linda and Brian Tatler from Diamond Head. Cool. Freaking cool. Okay, Aaron, what's your number 7?
Oh, the next one for me is the MC5, Kick Out the Jams.
Nice pick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love that you went all punk. It's just
very dirty.
Oh yeah,
and all different styles of punk too. You know,
I've got them all here.
We got some.
She caught you, Mike.
Yeah. Well, it was just it's hard to read and talk at the same time. I mean, think about how difficult that is for this gray matter, this 48-year-old gray matter, to read and talk at the same time. Harrison Kopp, this guy, he did the same thing that I did. Iron Maiden. He
that's your first duplicate.
Yeah, that is. That's our first duplicate. Thank you. He met Diamond Head at a gig in Stoke. And he likes TVI by the Stooges. He's got some punk as well.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so aside from being distracted by the awesome comments, thank you guys, by the way, keep the comments rolling in. Aside from being distracted by the awesome comments and the fact that I don't know where to look because of my technical issues, I do know one thing, and that is Kevin Simister's turn. Kevin Simister's turn.
All right. So my next one is a Led Zeppelin song. I went with a more well-known one because I'm sorry, the riff is just so good. It's not even just so good to listen to. It's really fun to play on the guitar. Hint, hint. And I went with Black Dog. Because that riff is just like goes up the A chord, and then you slide over, and it's just good times. Good times. Really fun.
I'd have to take a quick look at that one. But I was thinking about putting that one on, but I didn't.
The very first time I ever heard Black Dog, it was not by Led Zeppelin. It was by Dread Zeppelin. Dread Zeppelin. And I remember, it's too bad Scott Peddle isn't watching tonight, but I remember Tortelvis, their singer, Tortelvis, singing, Black Dog, Black Dog, Black Dog, Black Dog. You know, it was hilarious. Just hilarious. That was on Much Music. I saw him doing that. Anyway. That brings us to the Meat Man, I believe. If we're
number 7 is from 1977. It is from a band called The Scorpions.
I wanted to pick a Scorpions song, and I couldn't pick one, so I didn't.
Well, at first I would, you know, just for the hell of it, I was going to pick another piece of meat, but I ended up not picking that because my favorite song by them, riff-wise, is one that blew me away at a Sausage Fest a couple years ago and just kicked my ass. I can't believe how good it is, and it is Mr. Uli John Roth playing on the guitar on Sails of Charon.
That's a great
just an incredible song. I mean, one of the best things about that song is the way the riff starts, and the riff is great. And then the riff continues, and the perfect solo goes underneath it. And it's all before he sings anything. It's just such a great song and great riffs. So,
first of all, I'm going to say damn you, because somehow in my listenings this week, I fucking missed that song. I was focused on some other stuff, like I was also Uli stuff, but fuck. I'm just going to explain to Mr. Hopping on a Bronze Leg here that Sausage Fest is an annual music festival, a countdown, top 100 list voted on by a collective of gentlemen, and hopefully this July you will be hearing all about 2021 Sausage Fest. Dave Haslam wishes that you picked Zizou.
Yeah, it's not as good of a guitar riff song, even though
no, that's a very
pretty iconic. Pretty iconic. Yeah,
but it's just Janet. That's it.
Yeah, I get it, but it is it's pretty memorable. So, but it had to be Sails of Charon.
Yep. Again, I will say F you for picking that. It's a high compliment.
Well, trust me, F you too, man.
Okay, Mike, bring us in with your number 7.
All right, well, F you both. That was a great pick, me. I like that one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. My number 7 is also from 77. Didn't even plan it
Wow.
that way.
Can I guess? Cheap
yeah,
Trick.
What do you got?
Cheap Trick. No. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you 100 more guesses.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So my last riff only had 4 notes, right? This one only has 3. But it's just iconic. It's great. This band, you could have picked 100 of their songs, but I went with this one.
Okay. Angus!
And the solo he does on that, that's might be his best solo, I think.
Oh yeah. It's
brilliant,
insane.
man. That is brilliant. So how many AC/DC have we had now? Is that just 2 AC/DC so far?
You did Dirty Deeds. Yes.
Lana's saying Def Leppard, Answer to the Master, or Rock Brigade, but Def Leppard will really not appear on these lists until we hit the 80s.
Yeah.
That's
Scott
true.
Pettles shouting out some Kiss. Paul Stanley's Making Love.
Making love.
And Tyler Jenneru, Slow Ride by Foghat. And Mr. Bronze Leg here mentioned a band called Budgie out of Wales. And he's going to shit his bricks when he sees what I picked for number 6, because I picked Bread Fan. Yeah! Budgie. Not Metallica. Budgie. Bread Fan. So that one goes out hopping on a bronze leg. Budgie. Okay, Aaron, take it away.
My next one is probably one that everybody's sick of, but it's an earworm. It's the actually, you can pick any of their songs, and they all sound the same. It's the Ramones, Blitzkrieg Bop.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's so fun to play. That's a
It
fun
is. I was going to say that. Yeah. Mr. Harrison Kopp has. Mr. Harrison Kopp has dropped. Both of these guys have dropped NIB at the exact same time.
Nice.
Oh shit. Okay, so Harrison Kopp's dropped NIB, which is one that I dropped from my list actually because I considered it a bass riff at first. You know. So yeah, we're getting some absolutely
something like that.
Yeah. That's the gist of it.
I used to play all these when I was 15.
Which was
5 years ago.
Yeah.
I just have really bad memory.
These comments, she might have. Okay, recorded, yes, but I am being strict about it has to be released in 79. Now, Def Leppard did release the Get Your Rocks Off EP in 79, so I would allow anything off the Get Your Rocks EP, which unfortunately is only 3 songs. Oh, and Did You Know Wrong by the Pistols is a favorite of mine personally, too.
Sorry, Lana, there's no rules in this except for you.
That's a great
There's no rules except for you. Mr. Kevin, the rules state that you're next.
Okay. We're on number 6. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes.
You gotta let me tell this a little bit of a story. I know you want us to go quick, but I gotta tell this little bit of story. So because this song made me a fan of this band.
We're doing good time. We're doing good time.
Okay. So I grew up in Northern Ontario with really crappy radio stations. So when I moved down to Barrie, I could pick up radio stations from Toronto, and one of them was Q107. Now, Q107 in the late 90s was still, they weren't just playing classic rock. They would play new rock. Like they would play everything from the Beatles to White Zombie at the time. And so like you didn't know what you were going to get when you turned on the radio. So I get into the car and my radio's tuned into Q107, and they're right in the middle of this Black Sabbath song. And I could not figure out like which song it was. I'm listening to it, and the bass, like Geezer's going crazy on the bass, and Iommi's just going good, like wild on the solos, and the drums were, kind of there, but it must have been like, I'm thinking it's like a little later because in the Master of Reality they kind of toned down their drums, and I can't figure out what Black Sabbath song this is, and it just keeps going. It's like in the middle of this immense guitar solo, And I'm like, when Ozzy starts singing, I'm going to feel so stupid when, his voice comes on. And it wasn't his voice that came on first. First, it was this riff. And the riff was, da-na-na, wah, wah, da-na-na, wah, wah. I'm like, what Sabbath song is this? And it wasn't Ozzy's voice that came on. It was this guy called Geddy Lee that started singing. And I'm like, this is Rush? I had never heard Rush played like that before, because what I heard on the radio was stuff like that. What was that AIDS song? Nobody's Hero or something like that.
Yeah.
They would play that all the time. They would play sometimes Subdivision, sometimes
Tom Sawyer always.
Or so, like stuff like that, which was fine, but I had never heard that before. And Sarah was into Rush, and she had CDs, but she never. I just wasn't interested in it. So after I heard that, I'm like, I got to listen to some more Rush. So when I got home, I grabbed her Rush Chronicles, and I was a fan of Rush ever since. So my number 6 is Working Man by Rush.
And all I will say is foreshadowing.
And it was a different drummer. It wasn't Neil Peart on that.
That's right. John Rutsey.
What a shock.
They're both drummers are gone. Now I believe you did hum the riff wrong, and believe me, I've been rehearsing this one, but I believe it was. No, I don't want to make a fool of myself. This is going to meet. This is going to meet.
Wow, wow.
I don't think it's more wow, wow. I think it's more.
Wow, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I say wow, damn it. Don't make fun of my Northern Ontario accent, okay?
Got some great comments here. Satellite Kid, Sex Pistols, At the Edge, Stiff Little Fingers. He's loving you, Aaron.
My list, yep.
And oddly enough, she heard Working Man on American Idol.
I'm
dying to know why Working Man was played on American Idol. Please drop another comment, Lana.
I am so sorry that's how you got introduced to that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Me too. Much apologies.
Hey, at least she's getting introduced to it.
Yeah, but okay.
I mean, it's a way.
I have a Rush tribute album called Working Men, and I remember when it came out. Rush didn't want it released. I remember when it came out, Tom Morwood said, "I can see why Rush didn't want it released. It's so fucking good." And Sebastian Bach did a cover of Working Man on that one, and I love Bach's voice. So for me, that was awesome. But over to you, Meat Man.
Steve Morse was on that album too.
He was. He played on a couple of tracks. The Trees, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, Caleb Johnson covered and apparently won season 13. Covered Rush. Okay, there you go.
Good job, Caleb.
Yeah. There you go.
You okay, sweetie? You go ahead, Meat Man. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. I should go then?
That's what we said.
Okay. So number 6, I had to put a Deep Purple song on this list, and then it was how to possibly find what Deep Purple song to put on was very hard, but I ended up going with 1974, and all I gotta say is the people laughed till she said burn. And that song is just an incredible guitar song. The whole beginning riff. Burn by Deep Purple is my number 6.
Nice.
I had Deep Purple, Burn, and Pictures of Home on my list and chose one. So brilliant choice there. And he's shouting out Glenn Buxton, who was the late original guitar player for the Alice Cooper group, and they wrote some good riffs too. I don't know if we're going to get to any Alice Coopers tonight. Maybe Mike Slayen is Alice Cooper is his number 6.
I don't, but I wish I did. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Nope. Alice Cooper's not on my number 6.
Okay.
So Eddie was obviously my favorite guitar player.
Yep.
Still reeling over that one. It doesn't make sense to me,
No.
but he's not here anymore. But my second favorite rock and roll guitarist was Michael Shanker. And I knew him from his solo work. So really, I knew him as an 80s artist, but this riff is just classic, and I had to put it on there. So here it goes.
Oh, yeah. Great tune. Great tune.
So is that MSG?
No, that's UFO.
No, UFO.
That's UFO. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. What tune was that?
That's
Rock Bottom.
Okay. Yep. Okay. I was like, I know this.
Awesome. Great.
Okay,
song.
we got some great comments here. Lazy, Deep Purple. Burn has been, yeah, there you go. Harrison, with the size of his discography, Alice Cooper Deep Cut show would be a really great idea. Let's do that at some point. And Hoppin', Unfinished Suite, Alice Cooper. That's another great riff. Wow. Okay, thanks, Mike. That was awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Mike.
We've got a request for you to come back in the future to play more riffs. And to be honest with you, my hope was that you would come back for the 80s. Whenever we reconvene, we'll do an 80s riffs show.
Yeah, that would be great. Hey, you know what? Since I'm doing this on my phone, I just got the little notification where I'm going dead. So I'm gonna run out and get a cable.
Yep, I know that feeling.
I'll be back.
Okay, I'm gonna keep the show rolling. Tyler Weber, New Rock Bottom. So I'm gonna keep the show rolling with my number 5. And you might say, which Kiss song did he pick? And I'm gonna say, I didn't pick a Kiss song. I picked Paul Stanley, Tonight You Belong to Me, which I'm sure Meat is now. There's the reaction that I was looking for. But I've gone on record a few times on my site about Paul Stanley's riff writing abilities. And that's a fucking great song. It's the first song in his first solo album. Awesome.
So the question I have for you is Paul Stanley playing that, or is Bob Kulick playing that?
I believe, now there's probably a Kiss fanatic out there who knows every guitar part played on that album, but I believe Paul played most of the rhythms and Bob played almost all the leads. The one lead on that album that Paul Stanley did play is on the ballad Hold Me, Touch Me. That's Paul playing the solo on that one. But I believe, and I think you can hear the tone, Paul's tone versus Bob's tone. But there's probably a Kiss fan out there who's just going to tell me that I'm wrong. Pardon me. The jagged edges of these riffs are getting to my throat. Harrison Kopp is name dropping Children of the Grave, which is a great song. And Lazy, he's got a point here. It is more of an organ guitar unison thing. So for just wait until he's plugged in. Okay, I think.
Are you waiting for me?
Okay, I think. Yeah, just when your earbuds get plugged in, I think.
Okay,
we got some echo right now.
Because it's stupid iPhone.
Big time echo.
Big time echo.
Hold on. Nothing like good TV, like watching somebody put those earbuds on, right?
Well, I believe that we have all seen during the COVID era some really unscripted moments on live television.
Right.
So besides, there's only 10 people watching us, so we're all good. So just to recap you, I went down the Kiss road this time, and I picked a Paul Stanley track from his first solo album called "Tonight You Belong to Me" from 1978. We are on number 5.
All right.
And that brings us to Aaron for your unnumbered number 5.
Yes, and I wanted to say to Kevin that Rush Chronicles was the first Rush I ever bought too.
Same.
Yeah, I used to have a roommate and I lived in Windsor, who used to go into the bedroom and shut the door, and he had Rush albums on cassette and a crappy little tape player. And he used to go back there and just crank it. So it was all tinny and horrible sounding. And he used to just scream. He used to just sing along. So I heard a lot of really bad Rush, so I was like, I need to get so I can hear it and actually, know what the song sounds like, because he wasn't doing it any justice. Yeah. Wherever you are, Tony, apologies.
Well, and this was Sarah. Like Sarah had this, before we met. Yeah. She was like into Led Zeppelin and Rush. So many girls at the time were into like Aqua and I don't know, Britney Spears, whatever. Ace of Base, yeah. And she was like,
my memory. Did she rock a Rush shirt during one of our live shows?
Yes, she did.
I thought. Yeah. Nice. Yep. You got to keep her, Kevin.
Yeah.
All right.
Twist my arm.
Yeah, I have to, sure. I mean, she has half my music collection, so I better.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
My song. Yeah, sorry. I just had to tell that real quick. My next song is one you might know. Dead Boys, Sonic Reducer.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah. It was redone in the hardcore logo.
Yep. By Hugh Dillon.
Yeah. Swamp Thing or whatever they called themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Dead Boys Sonic Reducer is a great song, and it's a fun riff.
Right.
I actually figured that one out on the guitar because it's not that hard.
So my exposure to that song was via the movie.
Yeah.
And then via remember LimeWire? I downloaded a Pearl Jam cover of Sonic Reducer.
Oh yeah,
and then finally heard the original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of liked the original, but then
Tyler Weber calling us out here because we have not had anything Lizzy yet, and actually no. Okay. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you very much. Over to you, Kevin.
What are we on, 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have this album on vinyl, but I have to show the CD because the song from Motorhead Bomber that I chose is actually didn't make the album, and it's Over the Top by and it's like one of their best songs, and it makes it on all their greatest hits, and it still has never been officially released on an album. So, you guys know Over the Top? Motorhead?
No. Is that like a non-album single or is it a B-side?
It's a non-album single.
Cool.
Oh, well, I guess it had its you're gonna make me. It's the B-side of Bomber, I guess. But I don't know. It was a bit of a hit, anyways, for them. But that's my.
Spoiler. That's cool.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Motorhead is good. Motorhead. It's fine.
Spoiler alert. I just received some messages from Mr. T-Bone Erickson. He may have already made the new LeBrain Train video with Martin Popoff. Who knows?
If I say it, it shall be done.
And apparently Lana has a great memory. I think she did wear the Rush shirt during the Zeppelin show.
Oh, it might have been.
Yep.
There you go.
Over to you, the Meat Man.
Meat. Okay, so number 5. As we said, I could have did a list with 37 Black Sabbath songs on here.
Yeah.
But I had to pick one, so I went with 1972, and I saw somebody typed it in a comment already. My number 5 is Supernaut.
Supernaut.
Okay, so my only comment here is foreshadowing.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's my number 5.
What do you got, Mike?
All right, number 5. This is definitely an 80s band, but they came out in the 70s, so I had to go with them. What's that?
No, I'm nodding in approval.
Oh, okay, I thought somebody said something.
Nope.
Van Halen. I had to put Van Halen on there somewhere. And this is the first song off their first album. It might not be the best riff on there, but it's pretty iconic. And
yes,
that's my pick, number 5. I messed it up for the copyright, so you don't get the strike.
You're right, right.
Very clever.
So people
Hey,
are
Mike.
going nuts. Yeah.
So I can't plug my headphones and my charger at the same time. So
Okay.
let me know if it starts feeding back, and I'll turn something off or something.
Everybody's sound is okay?
Yeah.
Mine's
not
good
yet.
too.
Yeah.
All right.
That song was called "You Really Got Me," right?
Ah,
That was Atomic Punk.
I know.
we got some love for Over the Top by Motorhead.
Right on.
We had plenty of love for Supernaut. And apparently John Paul Jones loved Supernaut and wanted to play it with them in this. Wow.
That would have been awesome.
Who knew that? Which brings us to my number 4, which is Supernaut.
There you go.
There's a duplicate.
There's a double.
There you go. So that was quick. Over to you, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm just writing that down because that's another dupe.
Oh, you know what? Here's a fun riff.
Oh yeah.
That would have been on my list, but I don't own it.
Oh, and we'll quickly do Harrison's number 4. J.J. Cale's Cocaine was his original number 4, so he switched up for Emerald by Thin Lizzy. That's
Good
a pretty
choice.
monstrous riff.
Good choice.
Yep.
Yeah. I would have accepted Cocaine as well. I love J.J. Cale.
Thought about that one.
That's cool.
Sabbath did jam with Zeppelin once, but he's not sure of the exact date. Okay.
Last year.
Aaron, without further ado, it's after you drink your, what did you call that? Vegan
Straight edge
juice or
juice.
straight edge juice?
Yeah. I got the straight edge. So yeah, my next one is Where Eagles Dare by the Misfits.
I know
What
the
was
Maiden
that?
song.
Yeah, I know the Maiden.
Where Eagles Dare by the Misfits.
Yep.
Ah, wow.
I know the
That's
Maiden
neat.
song.
And I had to really look
That's
to make
cool.
sure that wasn't 80s, but it was 70s, so it's all good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
That's
Okay.
cool.
So again, I'm learning songs that I need to look up. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. You know, my buddy Jason, who's a punk head, he would love your list. I'll have to get him to watch this. Oh my God, so many comments about Supernaut. Sorry, wrong one. Zappa said Supernaut's the best riff. Supernaut is awesome. Children of the Grave is one of the most influential riffs of all time, given who humped it. Oh man, so many great comments here.
Question.
Yeah.
Supernaut. Did not Ministry also cover that?
Yes.
I
Technically, it
believe
was
so.
1,000. What were they
Yeah.
called? 1,000 Homo DJs.
DJs, yeah.
Okay, because when I saw, I was trying to think if that was the song, because when I saw Ministry in Saskatoon with My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, they did play Supernaut at the end. That would have been the song.
Yeah, it's
that's
on
the
the tribute.
Yeah.
Nativity in Black. Yeah.
And I believe that there's some versions of it. I might be wrong in this. There's some like more Trent Reznor centric versions, mixes of that song too.
Sure.
So I used to know a lot about Nine Inch Nails. Well, that's awesome. I believe we're at Kevin now with your number 4.
Okay, if you watched the ZZ Top show, you know that I'm a huge champion of the album Tejas.
Oh
I
yeah.
love this
Yeah.
album. I could have picked this whole thing is just a great riff. Just listen to the whole thing. It's one big
Yeah.
giant awesome
It is.
riff.
It is. Yep.
But if you forced me to to choose one, I went with and I almost didn't because it's a slide guitar song, and I wasn't sure if that was.
No, that counts.
But it's electric. It's electric. So I went with "Enjoy" and "Get It On" from Tejas.
Nice. I like your pick. And Martin Popoff likes that album too, as we learned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Him and I together, we will champion the internet and get everybody listening to that album.
He knew it. This guy knows everything. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where you come from, Yorkshireman, but
That was a good show.
okay.
No, it was fun.
Over to you, Meat Man.
Number 4, eh? Okay. My number 4 from 1973. Like my dad was playing this album when I was very young, and I've been hearing this song all my life. It's been covered by other people. It is from an album called "The Smoker You Drink, the Player You Get," and it is Mr. Joe Walsh and Barnstorm
Mike's
playing
smiling.
the classic Rocky Mountain Way.
That's great
has
too.
to be on this list.
That's a great
Just
one.
a great riff. So it's Rocky Mountain Way.
And you know, do you ever hear the story about him writing that song? How he because he was kicked out of the Eagles, and he went off into the Rocky Mountains. He bought a ranch out in the Rocky Mountains, and he was cutting the grass, and he was looking at the mountains, and he was thinking about getting kicked out of the Eagles, and that's where he came up with like Rocky Mountain Way, the best we ever had. You know, like just that was all like his he talked about it on the Howard Stern show. You can check it out.
Aaron, can I see your shirt? Can I see your shirt, Aaron?
Yeah.
KCCO.
Yeah.
With the G.I. Joe logo.
Yeah, I actually wore this to the Slayer concert and got a lot of compliments.
Nice.
It's you ever heard of a website called The Chive?
Yes.
It's mostly funny memes and girly pictures. Anyway, this is their this is one of their T-shirts. It's keep calm, and chive on.
Keep calm and carry on. Yeah.
Chive on, because of the
chive on.
Yeah, but it was a nice soft. I don't like really horrible T-shirts. This is a nice soft, comfy shirt. So
mine
GI Joe. Yeah.
Can you see that? Can you read that?
Officer of Rock.
Right. So this is the one that I got for Sausage Fest in 2019. Meat and I do that annual stop at the Value Village where we each pick out a new T-shirt for the weekend, and this was my purchase in 2019.
Nice.
And when I got there, it probably was Dr. David Haslam that said, "More like Officer of Cock." But Hopping on a Bronze Leg points out that pubs are shut. There's only the internet and music and beer left, which is why we're doing this. Because like us five guys, well, I'd still be home on a Friday night, but these other four guys would be out rocking and rolling.
I don't know.
Not with the kids.
Well, anyway, sorry, does this leave us off at? Is Mike next with his number 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
Mike, you go with your number 4.
You still got me on the microphone?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right. So I had to get a Rush song in there because they were great. So I didn't know what to do. I was thinking 2112 was so close to putting that one in. But then I went with, I think somebody already said it, Working Man.
Yeah.
Was that already on there?
Yeah.
There's another one.
All right, dude.
I love that.
Nice.
Yes.
And I will say one thing, one more time. Foreshadowing. I'm hoping maybe Mike can perform my number 3 song. Oh, Rob Daniels coming in with a good one. And I don't know if this is a compliment.
I take it as a compliment.
Oh, there's some heart for you. I hope that Mike can play this next song, my number 3. Because I ain't talking about love.
Oh.
That's a Van Halen song.
Yeah.
I don't know that part.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate
I
it.
got the riffs.
So, I'm happy we're seeing so much Van Halen love tonight, generally on the first album. Harrison Kopp comes in with a repeat, the Rover.
Hey.
And there you go. His mate, Kevin, lives in the Golden Horseshoe in Ontario. And yes, we are all Canadians, and we are all, well, except for Mike.
Slayen,
Mike is our token American tonight from San Diego. But we're not very far from the old Golden Horseshoe where I am. I mean, you can drive there for an afternoon road trip if you feel like it. Maybe not. Well, yeah, I think we could all do. Any of us, except for Mike, could go to the Golden Horseshoe for an afternoon road trip at some point.
No, I think it would take me about 4 hours.
You've driven that for buying records in Toronto.
Not quite that far.
I think you've driven 4 hours in storms to do Toronto record show because you're that dedicated. I know you took 4 hours. Yes, you know what, Aaron? It was the night of the first time that we filmed our Toronto trip, and there was bumper to bumper.
Yeah,
red lights. It was red light city, and it took us a good solid 2.5 hours for you to get me back to Kitchener, and then you still had to make it back home. So you were on the road 4 hours that night.
At least the longest it ever took me. Because if I get in the car, good traffic, I can be downtown Toronto from my doorstep in 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
maybe 2:20, and that never happens. So it's usually a little longer. But the longest was after that Maiden show. We went down in 2016 and saw them for Book of Souls, and we came out into a snowstorm, and it took us about 5 hours to get home. It doubled the trip. So
I believe it, man. Okay, so we're actually over to you now.
Who?
You?
Me? Oh,
yeah.
This was another band that I had trouble picking a song. And the internet kept trying to tell me one song in particular, but I didn't agree. So I went with the Buzzcocks and a song called Harmony in My Head. And it could have been Orgasm Addict. It could have been Oh Shit. It could have been, what's that song, Annoying? Or I forget what that song's called. Anyway, it could have been a bunch of them. But I chose Harmony in My Head as a shout out to Henry Rollins because he had a radio show called Harmony in My Head named after that song. And so that's my little Rollins nod there too. But nice. Get yourself Buzzcocks. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've given me a lot to listen to tonight. It's going to be fun. Kevin, what's your number 3, Kevin?
All right, Aaron, get ready to mark down a dupe.
Okay.
All right. Because I went with Ain't Talking About Love as well. It was hard. It was difficult. I could have picked any riff on here. Like really, like there's just so many good riffs on here. But
I picked it because it's got a lot going on in it.
Yeah.
Some of the more sledgehammery riffs.
Like really, like Eddie's riffs are simple to play without playing the lead at the same time like he does, you know.
Right.
But that one is actually like you gotta pick all the strings. So that's why I went with that one. It's good time.
I like the way you think.
All right.
Meat Man, are you gonna make it a trio?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I have my own mind, Michael. Okay, my number 3 pick is from 1978. And, I'm sure there's other candidates for this, but this might be the best example of a guitar player on his first album in a band, just completely owning the instrument and becoming iconic instantaneously. Because my number 3 is from Mr. Mark Knopfler and Dire Straits. Sultan's a Swing had to be on this list because it's just iconic and it's the best, one of the best songs of all time. Amazing song.
Man, I like the way you think. That's a brilliant pick.
Number 3.
How about you, Mike? What you got for number 3?
I was just thinking about that song that he said, the Sultan Swing. That is a great tune. It's actually it's like a flamenco progression. They always do that. Yeah. Sorry. So there's your global music. I'm sure he didn't think of it.
Dave Haslam likes your pick.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right. I was going to say also, you guys did a great job with the pop-off thing last week.
Thanks.
Yeah,
that was very
cool.
fun.
Yes.
Of course, I have to follow him the next week.
Well, I don't know. I think you're doing a fantastic job. This is the first time we've ever had anybody.
Yeah.
We've had Aaron doing show and tell with guitars, but this is the first time we've had a musical performance. So
yeah. I got a new guitar for Christmas, so I was showing it off.
Yeah, that was a beautiful baby.
Bring it next time. Yeah.
Beautiful baby.
It's right here.
All right.
But thank you. I appreciate you watching that.
Yeah, thank you.
Course, man. I mean, I've been thinking, like, again, since Eddie died, all our guys are getting older, and we're now the museum caretakers. So
yeah,
we all got to keep it alive. It's our music.
Yeah,
like
that's a good name for a blog.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you guys are great. Definitely check out those blogs. It's like when our parents or grandparents used to be like, "Hey, Glenn Miller, you got to check this out," and you're like, "Whatever, man." They're keeping their stuff alive. Now we got to keep ours alive. We're a little more luckier because we have the internet and all the media, so it doesn't die. This music it's always out there for everybody.
Yep.
All right, number 3. I went with a very riffy song. I think it's underrated in its riffness, but it's Judas Priest. Even though you kind of think of their riffs more of the 80s. Those kind of things, but this was I'll play it. I'm going to improvise the first part because I don't really know it.
Ah!
And then it's got the and then of course there's the middle part.
Yep.
That great build up, and then at the reference at the end, it's like
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna try to do that third.
No. So I just want to say, that's like 10 riffs, but well played, sir. So Aaron, for the record, that was Victim of Change's Judas Priest.
Wait till the next song.
Oh shit!
So that was the Judas Priest song I wanted to pick, but I don't have that album. I still don't.
So you only wanted to do a show and tell version, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha. And okay, so we got X-Ray Specs, World Turn Dayglow, Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper, but coming from Dr. Dave Haslam, this is some praise here. And it's perfect segue. Oh yeah, there's a good riff for you too. But perfect segue into my number 2, which is Judas Priest. And it's not a Judas Priest song, but it is a Judas Priest cover. It's Green Manalishi with the 2-pronged crown. I
forgot it. Jeez.
Now, I'm not sure when Fleetwood Mac recorded the original, but I'm going with Priest's version because I think that they made the riff a lot stronger. If you hear both versions of the song, the riff in the Priest arrangement really speaks far more than the Fleetwood Mac original, I believe. I think it's one of those songs that's a superior cover. And so that's my number 2. We got a Priest twofer here.
Back to back.
But we know that the streak is broken because Aaron has a number 2 punk song.
Yeah. My last 3 are not, they're not as like, when you think of punk music, you think angry and fast and like get in and get out in less than 2 minutes and, that kind of thing. But the last 3 here, so including the Buzzcock song, it's not really that fast or hard, but it's a great, you'll get it in your head and you'll sing it for days. And my next one, I wanted to give a shout out to the Diodes, "Tired of Waking Up Tired."
Ooh, yeah.
Because that song just is another one that I just love it, and it just gets stuck in your head. And yeah.
Now, what's the connection? If you know your own connection, but yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, because they were singing it while they were driving.
That's right.
Yeah.
On
But
the bus,
that's a great tune.
Beautiful.
But also not really fast and hard punk as you would think.
Right.
Of it, you know.
But that's we can praise Hardcore Logo. This is a Canadian movie that I don't know what kind of exposure it has out there in the world at large, but Hardcore Logo came out, 96, starring Hugh Dillon of the Headstones and a couple notable Canadian actors that ended up being in Battlestar Galactica. But I highly recommend Hardcore Logo for both originals and cover. I believe it had some originals in there, but a lot of good covers.
Edmonton Block Heater.
Edmonton Block Heater was one. Sonic Reducer was another.
No, Sonic Reducer was a cover.
Sorry, Sonic Reducer was a cover. Blue Tattoo.
Yeah,
was a cover.
Yeah.
Aaron, brilliant pick. Okay. You can tell I'm getting mush mouth as we work our way down the list. All right, I'm going to start speaking slower now as we go to Kevin with your number 2.
Well, we're getting into my top 2 bands of all time. Forget just the 70s, of all time. So I went with my number 2 band, and that is Black Sabbath. And I'm happy to report that no one has chosen anything off of this album. I don't think anything off of this iconic.
I would
probably because everyone's tired of it, but I don't care if you're tired of it. I'm not. I'll still put it on and listen to it. But the song I chose on here is "Fairies Wear Boots." That is my jam. That's my song.
We have another Harrison Kopp with his number 2. Black Sabbath, The National Acrobat. That's a neat pick.
I could have picked a ton of Black Sabbath songs, but
Harrison says that the Fleetwood Mac original of Green Man Unleashed came out in '69. And if you go for the Unleashed in the East version, that's fine with me, and that still qualifies. That's 1979. Rest in peace, Peter Green. Okay. I guess Meat, you're next.
My number 2, my number 2 is, a guy who just had to be on this list. It's from 1975. And all I have to say is some people like cupcakes better. I, for one, care less for them. Because it is Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart, Muffin Man. This is just some of the best guitar ever. Both the riff solo and the leads. Yeah, but it's not that's a solo, not a riff. The actual riffs in this song are great. So that's my number 2 right there.
Nice.
It's classic.
Is that the second Zappa or the first Zappa that we've had tonight?
The first Zappa that I can remember.
First Zappa, yep.
Hang on. Puts forth. Okay, Mike. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. What do you got for us?
All right, this one was easy to put way up towards the top. So I got another Black Sabbath one, just like Kevin.
Nice.
Thought he was going to steal mine, but he did not. I went with Into the Void.
Yes.
Yeah, man. It was between that and Supernaut.
So you thought Victim of Change was like a 4 for 1, right? This is almost like a 6 for 1. You got the intro, kind of a bluesy with the demonic, Black Sabbath addition to it.
Awesome.
Then it does a second riff, I forgot what that one does. That one just always does it once, and then there's the open Eve thing when you start singing the.
Very cool.
And then there's a connector riff. And then there's a fourth, fifth riff. I don't know.
Yeah.
But when he does that, he puts three of them together. So he does that one, the connector one, and then back to the open one. So. I screwed up. And if that's not enough to put it at my number 2, it has the end riff.
You know what?
Cool.
Pound for pound, that is a better pick than Supernaut. Because, like you said, it's packed full of riffs.
There's no better thing. It's just whatever you choose. What's the difference?
Pick a Sabbath song.
There's no difference.
You know what? I just want to say something. I guess for me personally, I really started deeply exploring Sabbath around 91, 92. And actually 90 through 92. And in late 91 or early 92, my buddy Peter came back from the United States with a box set called the Ozzy Osbourne Years.
Yep.
Which you couldn't get in Canada at the time. And that was my first exposure to most of these Sabbath deeper cuts, like Into the Void. And I heard these riffs, and it's like Meat said, pick a favorite, you know? And it's like, what I really liked about Sabbath, those particular early Sabbath songs, is that you did get like 3 monster riffs jammed together into one space, but interconnected. So we got some compliments here. Lana, thanks you for picking that. We got some huge shout outs for Into the Void or Lords of this World. So again, brilliant pick, Mike. And now we're into the very last round. So
yeah,
I just want to say for my number 1, I went, this is the only one of mine that really is in a specific order. I kind of went with like an Aaron. I keep pointing in the wrong direction. Okay, so I wanted to go with more of an Aaron kind of deal. And I didn't really consider an order for any of these songs except for number 1, which was the first song I wrote down. And once more, it's Working Man by Rush.
Nice.
We've heard it, we've seen it, we've talked about it. So I got nothing else to add. Working Man by Rush, first album, and that was actually just Canadian bias that's number 1, and that's fine. It is a triple kit, and Mr. Harrison Kopp went with Symptom of the Universe with his number 1. And I'm going to tell you a funny story about this. Not the first time I heard the song, but shortly after I heard the Sabbath original, I was sitting down in the basement watching flipping channels. Sesame Street came on, and on Sesame Street they were playing Symptom of the Universe, talking about numbers and letters.
Nice.
I shit you not, Symptom of the Universe was on Sesame Street, and Ozzy's been on Sesame Street a few times. So the Iommi blueprint for Metallica, Symptom of the Universe. There you go. Okay, so I'm out. That's my number 1, which means I do this with my paper.
Good job, LeBrain. Way to go. Way to toss that aside.
If he was still on his laptop, it would have made it over.
Right. Over to you, Aaron, for your number 1.
Well, my last one.
Right.
My number 1, if I had to pick any out of all of these, I'd be here all night. But I chose Marquee Moon by Television.
That's a great song. I love that song. I'm not sure if I would call them punk, but I know what you mean by saying.
Yeah, see, that's where my list kind of went. Yeah, but then I thought, oh, it's too good to leave off. I had to put that on there. So
there's punk elements to it.
Yep.
Great song.
I maybe trailed off there at the end, but
yeah, Robert Daniels is another Canadian shout out, and this one was on an early version of my list. But I don't know. I almost felt like I needed to 2 Canadian bands, you know. Anyway, maybe it was a mistake for me to remove this from my list. So I'm glad Robert has shouted it out.
Yeah.
And Kevin, your number one song from maybe your number one band?
Oh, I'll guess. Yeah, guess which band it's going to be from. This was the song that. This was the song that, like, when you said 70s riffs, I'm like, that's that song, and it's never left the list. It always stayed at number one because I think it's. I mean, Whole Lotta Rosie is pretty darn close. If I was doing AC/DC riffs, Whole Lotta Rosie would have been number two, but I had to go with my number one. From the Power Rage or Power Ridge or Power Edge, or however the heck you want to say it, from this album, I could have done this whole album too. There's a lot on here.
Yeah.
But I went with my favorite, and that is Riff Raff. Because that sucker has it's an awesome. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Lana, I made fun of her for hearing it. I didn't make fun so much. That's anyway.
It. You've awoken her. She's
calling me out for hearing a Sabbath song in Sesame Street. But hey, I was flipping channels. It happens. You flipping channels, you hear a Sabbath song, you stop with the flipping. And it was weird. It was like, they're singing instead of Symptom of the Universe. It's like, three's a number that comes after two.
Well, she got you back.
She
Hell
did
has
get me
no
back.
fury like a woman scorned.
That's right. Okay.
Truth.
So you told me in a private message that you really liked your number one.
Yes, and it seems like a familiar thing here. My number one was the very first thing I thought of. And at the time, I didn't have a Google machine near me right then, and I remember thinking, oh, I hope this is the 70s. This might be the 60s. I'm not sure, but it was the 70s. It was 1971, and to me, this is the best riff. Might be the best guitar riff I've ever heard, just for everything, as in like flavor. And the band is called Focus. And the song is called Hocus Pocus. Amazing guitar.
Sing that one for us?
My favorite riff.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and there's yodeling, which I'm not going to do either.
Oh, that song, the yodeling one. Okay.
Incredible guitar work on that song.
Sure, yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah.
Wow.
We should have just said the yodeling song. We would have all got it right away.
Yeah.
Look, we got some Deke in the house.
Nice.
And he picked a good one. That's a UFO song, I know. Well,
yeah, there you go.
I think it worked out well that Mike gets to go with the very, 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 very last song, your number one. And this is it. This is take us out, Mike. Take us out with a killer number one.
Number one?
Yep.
We've done 4 already, but now we're steady. And then they went 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
Let's show off a little bit.
Man, you just made a lot of people happy. You just made a lot of people happy. Yeah, a lot of people mentioned it earlier, I think. Holy crap.
Nice.
Okay, so Aaron, can we quickly run through some of the repeats?
Yes. I have it down that we have 5 songs that were repeated, but one was a triplicate.
Nice.
Okay, so the five tunes. We had Maiden's Iron Maiden.
Yep.
We had Black Sabbath Supernaut.
Yep.
We had Van Halen's Ain't Talking About Love. Rush Working Man. How many was that? 1,
that was 5,
2,
I believe.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's all of them. Yep.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh no, and the Rover, Led Zeppelin, the Rover.
Oh,
And the
okay, so
Rover,
6.
yeah.
Nice.
6. Yeah, 6.
So what we've learned tonight is when we can't get Jeff Steven to do a graph, Aaron is perfectly capable of keeping the records that we need.
Yeah.
You are in so much trouble.
Gotta get some graph paper
You're
now, Aaron.
Oh dear.
Wow, T-Bone used to play The Ocean at the Hodder Hotel in the late 90s. Love that song. Which is really funny that he mentions that because, as you know, I always play a music video at the end of the song, at the end of the show, and I thought I was going to play Hotter to Hell by Current River at the end of the show again. Chris Sarr, is Layla a 70s tune?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh,
Nobody picked it.
Layla's definitely a
question.
70s song.
Yeah, nobody picked that one. That's odd.
The song that
Can we run down our honorable mentions?
Yeah, let's do that. So I think we pretty much hit all of my honorable mentions during the countdown, stuff that I had to exclude from my list.
Well, we got some weird things going on.
You do? He's kind of freezing up a bit.
Yeah,
I think. Is everybody else okay?
Yeah,
I'm here.
Okay. The only honorable mention that I want to pick. Oh shit! And I can't even remember the name of the song. Give me a second here. I got to look it up. It's an early Scorpions tune, and the name I just totally lost it. Oh, Speedy's Coming. I like Speedy's Coming by the Scorpions. That's really my only honorable mention that didn't make any lists tonight. How about you,
I've
Aaron?
got a list of mine.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Yeah.
I do have a point of order. Mr. Slayen, you had an AC/DC song, and I was so enjoying the riff, I forgot to write it down. Which one did you have?
A Whole Lot of Rosie.
I had a Whole Lot of Rosie at number 7.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So I'd like to point out that there was no Pink Floyd.
True.
There was
They're
no
not really
Who.
a guitar riff other than that one.
Right. So, but I think David Gilmour, and I want to give him a shout out because,
sure,
Yep.
Yeah. Also Rands. I really, really, really wanted Ace of Spades, but that was 1980.
That's 1980. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so close. Really, really, I love that song. But I did have The Damned, a song called New Rose. And I did also have the Anti-Nowhere League's So What?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which Metallica covered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was going to do Stiff Little Fingers, but I couldn't pick one. So, anyway, those were I only had a couple. So if there's any of my list that you think weren't quite punk enough, you could put the Anti-Nowhere League in there and get away with it.
Before we go to Kevin, Deke is calling fake news on T-Bone's comment here. Deke is saying that was a fake lineup of Current River. Don't be fooled by that T-Bone comment. So we're going to label that fake news. Robert Daniels is name dropping another Triumph song. We should have, I regret not asking Rob about this show. Maybe we should have asked Rob to be on this show. And somebody named Pura Imagination says, "Hi, Kevin. Sorry, I like Die Hard too."
That's got to be Halen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Meat, you had some runners up. I'm
did.
sorry.
I got skipped.
Oh, it's Kevin's turn.
Right.
That was
your turn.
I got some songs that haven't been mentioned. A lot of them have been. The Who. There's like Baba O'Reilly and Won't Get Fooled Again, which are sort of guitar, but they had that weird machine.
Yeah, they had some synth in it.
Yeah, so I was kind of on the fence with those. T-Rex, Bang a Gong, Alice Cooper, Under My Wheels, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Woodstock. That's a great guitar riff. Tom Petty, Refugee, Neil Young, Out of the Blue, and this one almost made my list. I'm kind of disappointed it didn't. Queen, Stone Cold Crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Good stuff, Kevin.
And actually, like Queen had their Sheer Heart Attack. There's a bunch of Queen songs. And it was one of those ones where I couldn't pick one, so I just said screw it.
We have some more comments. The Damned.
Yeah, it was really hard to pick a Damned song.
Shout out to Sweet Jane. Great simple rock and roll riff you can learn in 5 minutes. I don't know about that. I'm a slow learner. The Contrarian says, "Ew, the Who."
Come on.
And we have some drama happening. Some drama. He never called it Current River. It was called Don't Fret at that point.
We're seeing the breakup of Current River right here.
Right. Yeah.
They just got back together.
This is like the two different versions of LA Guns, really. Okay, sorry. So, Meat Man, what are your runners up?
Runners up. I'll start off with Mr. Contrarian's "Ooh, the Who." The Real Me by the Who and it's weird because I mean all of them had to be different artists, like the format, and a lot of these were on my list and went out. So it was The Real Me by the Who, Midnight Moses by the sensational Alex Harvey Band, Reeling in the Years by Steely Dan.
Good one. Good one.
25 or 6 to 4 by Chicago.
Yes, I was thinking of that one. I forgot all about it.
Me too. Because I think of them as a horn band. Yeah.
Stargazer by Rainbow. Eruption by Van Halen.
Yeah.
Bad Reputation by Thin Lizzy. Now I'm Here by Queen. A UFO with a song called Hot and Ready. And I almost had a Kiss song on there with She.
Nice. Poor showing for Kiss tonight.
Yeah.
Lana, Baba O'Reilly, the song One Direction borrowed a riff from. I would not have known that.
Not surprised.
Just like the summer of '69, Moose quit, Deke got married, should have known it wouldn't last long. So there's the true story of Current River. Don't fret, it's not Current River. Sleazy by the Village People made no lists. Well, we don't. Maybe one of Mike's runners up. We don't know yet. Death on Two Legs. Yes.
Yeah. That's another
Meat
good
Chop showing his old boys. American Ruse by the MC5. The riff in the middle of. Interesting. I'm not really familiar with Smashing Pumpkins, so I didn't know that. And Dave Haslam says the reason Kiss had such a poor showing tonight is because they suck. Mike, please tell me you have some Kiss as one of your runners-ups.
Isn't that a song? Suck Your Kiss or Suck
No, yeah, but it's not a guitar riff.
That's
I don't have Kiss. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did when you laid the topic out, first thing I had a bunch of no-goes right away. So there was like Don't Fear the Reaper, Walk This Way, Smoke on the Water, Iron Man, Sweet Home Alabama, Kashmir, and anything on Zeppelin 4.
Nice.
Not because they're not great, but they were like too easy maybe to just put on a list like this.
100%.
Yeah.
And then I tried to get really clever and put a Beatles song in from Let It Be, but not riffy enough because that was 1970, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
I really wanted to put Do You Feel Like We Do by Peter Frampton, but it kind of not riffy enough either. And then the one I thought somebody would pick for sure was Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
It's a great riff. I mean,
it is.
You guys know that too?
I do. Yep.
Okay.
Recognize that one right away.
And then the only one that I really had a hard time leaving off the list, and I like this tune more and more as we go, is Blue Oyster Cult.
Godzilla.
Yeah. For sure.
Nice. Nicely done.
Such a cool tune.
Great picks for your runners up too.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Had to be.
Okay, so big round of applause, man, for Mike Slayen.
Oh, for me, for you guys.
Yeah, for you.
I'm going around.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I loved hearing the riffs.
Yes.
Mike, would you like to reconvene at some point for the 80s?
Oh yeah, of course. That was great. Of
Okay.
course, I'm sure you guys were too. You're putting the list together and go, oh, but for the 80s,
let's just say
already thinking ahead.
Let's just say
the 80s are going to be a lot more and more complex.
Yeah.
Riffs. The 70s was
Metal.
very bluesy.
Metal.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
where we
just
get
say
trapped.
fair warning.
Yeah.
Well, boys, I appreciate all of you spending 2 hours here tonight, as always. You know, like we were saying earlier, this is the only social outlet we have on a Friday night these days. So, you know, it ain't no fun without you guys. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We will reconvene with Mike again to do the 80s, and hopefully the rest of you guys too. Next week,
I'm in.
Where did I put my calendar? It doesn't matter where I put my calendar, because next week, January 29th, we are having the return of Mr. T-Bone Eruption.
Nice.
And I believe the Meat Man's even going to be joining us for that show.
He asked me to join him. I'm like, be careful what you ask for, because now it's going to be discussing an Aerosmith album, and let's just say I don't have a good record with Aerosmith and me being a fan, so it's going to be interesting.
So what we're going to be talking about next week, the first time we had T-Bone on, we did a deep dive into David Lee Roth's Skyscraper album. This time, that was Deke who picked that album. This time, T-Bone has picked the album, and he's picked Done with Mirrors by Aerosmith, an album I'm not fond of. But Deke loves it, and T-Bone loves it. Meat's indifferent. So it'll be an interesting chat next week to see how this goes with this Aerosmith. I'm not a fan of Done with Mirrors. I only like one song.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting for me, man, because like, okay, one of my favorite songs by Aerosmith is "Lightning Strikes" from "Rock on a Hard Place," so the album before it. And
right, me too.
And I've listened to 3/4 of it now, and the way I'm looking at it is it's kind of like the best of both worlds in a way. It's kind of like there's some rocking in there, and then it's like just before they started getting cheesy. So it's kind of like in the middle. So I have a feeling I'm gonna actually like this album more than not like it.
Deke is cutting you off. He's saying save it for the Aero talk next week. And Kevin's saying nothing.
I was asked to be on as well, and I've never heard the album. I know of it, but I've never.
Are you going to be joining us and listening to it? And
I'm going to listen to it all next week. I'll have it.
But you'll be joining us.
Yeah,
you'll be.
Yeah.
Well, Deke asked me to, and I do whatever Deke says. So.
I do too.
I mean, he's my way. He's my 1 degree to Martin Popoff. So
speaking of Deke. True. That is true. And he's won my degree to Andy Curran from Coney Hatch and all these other guys.
Everybody.
So guys,
Billy
I'm going to take us. Billy Sheehan. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
They're on a basis.
Terms.
Well, boys, I'm going to say goodnight to everyone tonight. We're going to go out on another song. We're going to replay it from a few weeks ago, but we're going to hear "Hotter to Hell" by Current River, featuring Mr. T-Bone Eruption.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yes,
thanks, Mike. Yes, sir. Hey, good meeting you, man. Good stuff.
Excellent stuff, man.
Good picks.
Thanks a lot, boys. After I'm done this, I'm gonna reboot my computer and see if I need to buy a new webcam. So you guys have a wonderful night. This is "Hotter to Hell" by Current River on the La Brea Train.
Awesome
Rock
talking
and
to you.
roll.
Rock and roll.
world keeps burning, and we just watch the flames grow higher. And the world keeps turning, revolving round a ball of fire. Harder to hell, harder to hell. We're wishing you well from the Harder Hotel. It's an extreme progression, the link between hell and heaven. The higher ground drops out so rapidly, and a proud river runs through, separating us from you and giving us a sense of security. Yeah. Protection from the masses, oh, it defines the borderline. And only one street crosses, leaving it all behind. Harder to hell, harder to hell. We're wishing you well from the Harder Hotel. It's a sign of the times. It's a state